Grand Old Partisan celebrates more than 16 decades of Republican heroes and heroics. Today, I honor George Edmunds, born February 1st, 1828. Aged 26, he won his first election as an anti-slavery Whig to the Vermont legislature. Within 3 years, this ambitious lawyer became a Republican and Speaker of the State House. He was President pro tem of the State Senate during the Civil War's first year. In 1866, the Republican governor appointed him to a U.S. Senate vacancy. Edmunds hurried to Washington, arriving just in time to save the GOP's first Civil Rights Act. His vote was just enough to override a veto by the Democrat President Andrew Johnson. The influential senator helped secure Rutherford Hayes's victory in the 1876 presidential election. He also voiced strong support for passage of the GOP's 14th and 15th Amendments. Edmunds contended for the presidential nomination at the 1880 Republican National Convention and again at the 1884 convention, with a young Theodore Roosevelt one of his delegates. He declined a Supreme Court appointment from President Chester Arthur. There was no vice president after Arthur became president when James Garfield was murdered. Next in line for the presidency at the time was the Senate President pro tem, George Edmunds. This was decades before a vice president did much other than preside over the Senate, and so Senator Edmunds was often addressed as Vice President Edmunds. Indeed, a dedication plaque at the National Building Museum describes him as Vice President George F. Edmunds. Edmunds resigned during his 5th term to practice law. He was known as, quote, incorruptible, unassailable, a Republican whom every Republican trusts to his utmost and every Democrat respects, and, quote, a vigilant defender and representative of what is best in the Republican faith. Back to Basics for the Republican Party is my civil rights history of the GOP. To quote the book, the more we Republicans know about the history of our party, the more the Democrats will worry about the future of theirs. For more information, see grandoldpartisan.com.